Opinion: illegal immigration crackdown, electoral revision. Why is the opposition so nervous? The Modi government's recent crackdown on illegal immigration has set off a dramatic political storm. From vanishing workforces in cities like Gurugram to uproar over the revision of electoral rolls in Bihar, the opposition claims the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) is working to disenfranchise millions of Indians. Amid all this, what stands out is not just the impact of these actions, but the intensity of the opposition's reaction. After all, this may just be a struggle for the very foundation of some parties' political strength. Let's start with Gurugram. The Millennium City's economy, humming with construction and service industries, has endured visible disruption as hundreds of migrant laborers, primarily Bengali-speaking, have disappeared from work sites in recent weeks. While the government's drives have detained a few hundred individuals for verification, the overwhelming response has been one of anticipatory flight, families hurriedly packing up, liquidating meager assets and moving out with little warning. Why would so many people flee if they are not at risk? Police reports reveal that out of the detained group, only a handful were found to be without valid documentation, the rest cleared and left untouched. The preemptive departure suggests that even among those who may be on the right side of the law, there's an atmosphere of uncertainty, a sense that their documentation may not withstand a deeper scrutiny, or perhaps, that networks of false papers are more prevalent than previously thought. This aggressive enforcement isn't limited to one city. After Operation Sindoor, India has launched a nationwide campaign to systematically track, verify and deport thousands of illegal Bangladeshi immigrants. The operation stands out for its logistical sophistication, using IAF aircraft to move suspects, setting up holding camps and undertaking coordinated pushback operations at the border. Gujarat leads the count, but Delhi and Haryana are not far behind. Illegal immigrants are also being tracked and deported from states like Meghalaya and Assam. What distinguishes the ongoing campaign is not merely its scale, but its urgency. States have been handed strict deadlines by the Ministry of Home Affairs, while central agencies and state police operate with rare synergy. No doubt, illegal immigration is a decades-old problem, but not until now has it received this degree of concentrated administrative will. And perhaps nothing has roused the opposition's ire more than the special intensive revisions underway in Bihar. This drive involves a thorough review of the state's electoral rolls for the first time since 2003. The numbers are eye-opening: 65 lock names dropped from the preliminary draft, 22 lock deceased, 36 lock untraceable, and 7 lock double registered. In a democracy as large and diverse as India, voter roll errors are rarely shocking, but the size of this cleanup points to deep-rooted irregularities built up over decades. Opposition parties are resisting the revision with all their might, claiming that the SIR's documentary requirements amount to a citizenship test by stealth, an unofficial NRC of sorts, and unfairly target marginalist voters. Petitions have hit the Supreme Court. Yet, much of their outrage appears rooted not in the process but in its possible electoral implications. As TMC parliamentarians candidly admit, Bihar is just a precursor. The real battlefield is West Bengal, where the illegal immigration crisis is the most severe. West Bengal, the real prize. The opposition's fears crystallize when it comes to West Bengal. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has attacked the revision exercise as an NR through backdoor, warning that millions risk disenfranchisement. To the BJP, however, purification of voter rolls has always been a core electoral promise, a way to undo what they allege is years of vote bank engineering via illegal immigration. Both parties know what's at stake. The TMC's stellar electoral performances in border districts have, for years, prompted accusations that its rise is tied to illegal votes. The opposition's determination to block the SIR is driven less by due process and more by established electoral arithmetic. Lost votes could, after all, alter their hold in vital constituencies. Nanan charges of arbitrary action, threats to civil liberties, claims of disenfranchisement are all part of an alto familiar script. Yet scratch beneath the surface, and an uncomfortable contradiction emerges. When processes clearly target only non-citizens, why the all-consuming anxiety? Where is the support for the legitimate voter, the Indian citizen whose ballot is otherwise diluted? Consider recent history: the Congress' dogged opposition to the NRC in Assam, the AAP's generous issuance of official documents to undocumented residents in Delhi, and the TMC's fierce resistance to any enumeration in border districts all point to a deeper strategy of vote bank politics. When TMC leaders publicly defend the electoral rights of Bengali-speaking populations without distinguishing between legal and illegal residents, the pattern is plain to see. Nanan, the campaign against illegal immigration is, at its heart, an assertion about Indian democracy, about who gets counted and whose voice matters. If electoral rolls are riddled with ineligible names, then the principle of one person only vote is compromised. Bihar's experience, where lakhs of voters have been found ineligible after revision, is an alarm bell for the rest of the nation. Swipe left for next video. The government claims that genuine voters will have ample time and assistance to update or present documentation, with door-to-door verifications in sensitive areas. Yet, opposition parties continue to frame it as a conspiracy to suppress legitimate votes. Their real fear seems not to be bureaucratic error, but the unraveling of political calculations built over decades. The truth is that, as India advances economically and globally, it cannot afford electoral rolls clouded in illegitimacy. The Modi government's drive may have its flaws, but the underlying impulse, accountability and transparency about citizenship is necessary. The opposition's panic speaks volumes. Cleaning up the rolls doesn't just threaten a few votes, but entire models of political survival. If the exercise uproots illegal entries, it strengthens democracy. If it is derailed, it perpetuates the status quo. For voters and policymakers alike, that is the real debate. The issue is such that a political war of words is impossible to avoid. Latest blogs.